I think people like Robin DiAngelo, the where I differ, we both see the same problems, and we've acknowledged this. Like I see the same problems, right? It's how we deal with the problem. I love everything you said about the affinity groups, like helping other people, having someone understand the situation that you're in. I'm 1000% prefer that. But I guess the common theme that I'm seeing that I keep saying is I don't have time to change. I'm not trying it. And you said it's one way that it possibly could change. There's there's a whole contingent out there that are bent on trying to change people's minds. I'm not of the ilk of let's even it in implicit bias. I want to cover every type of implicit bias. I'm not going to go out there and tell women short men need love too. I'm not that person. I'm not going to go out there and say, you know what? You should start dating ugly people because they need love too. Like, I'm not going to say you should start taking these people in your group or whatever because you have an implicit bias against those people. I That's just not my approach to life. My approach to life is I see there's a group of people who need help. Let's help them. Let's figure out how to help them move forward. I don't want to focus on the people who like the white supremacists and all of that because there's always going to be white supremacists. There are always going to be people who don't like these people or that people. Like those are people that we need to leave behind. And I think one of the ways we leave behind them is no, you're probably not going to like this, but is ignoring them.
Yeah, the reason I
That's
don't
what
like
I'm
it is
trying to say.
the reason I don't like it is because it doesn't work. Like these are people, a lot of them, they're they're not left behind. They're in positions of power. Like that is the issue. They're not
Well,
left
okay,
behind.
yeah.
They can't be
So think
ignored.
about that. Think about what you just said. They're in positions of power. So if let's say what you just said, I love that what you said about affinity groups and all of that. If if that coalition is strong enough, that coalition can do exactly what
You're
those
wrong.
people.
You're wrong. You
You
just
don't
don't
think that our
know.
society
Let
has
me
progressed
explain.
to the point?
I am literally going to explain. Listen, brother, you're saying
Uh,
that from a place of
uh,
ignorance right now.
Wait,
Okay?
hold on.
I am
Let
going
me
to
say.
give you a
Let me
2024
get
example of why
let me get
what
out
you're
this thought.
saying
Well,
is
you know
not.
what? You go ahead.
I'm
You
going
go
to
ahead.
tell you, okay? And then you can
Uh huh.
respond. All right?
Uh huh.
There was a group of
Hmm.
highly successful black business people who created a scholarship to give to black entrepreneurs $10,000 so they could to promote them to help them start up their entrepreneurships, okay, and their business goals, right?
Hmm.
And they were giving that out specifically to they gave it to like a couple dozen black females, okay? Because
Hmm.
why? Because black females have experienced those barriers that we talked about when trying to
Hmm.
raise money for their businesses. They're not looked at as someone
Hmm.
who can start a business that is successful or whatnot. And
Okay.
so they created this group to give that money. What happened? The same person who eliminated affirmative action because we're past all that sued to stop them from giving these black women that money. And he successfully stopped them from giving this money out to these black women. Just to stop $10,000 to go to a couple dozen black women, this guy went out and filed a lawsuit to stop them from doing that. Like,
Okay.
so
That's okay.
they tried doing what you said and they
No,
were
no, no.
stopped by the law.
Oh, first of all, there's two things. There's two things to that. There's two things. First of all, if you look at the amount, I'm in all these black groups. If you look at the amount, let's go back to 1999, 2000. From 2000 to 2024, the amount of black organizations specifically aimed at helping black people or minorities or colored people or whatever you want to, whatever minority group you want to put in that place, like women, that has tripled. You can look at the numbers. You can look at Google. You can look at Google. The black organizations, they have expanded. That's number one. No, I'm going to say three things. That's number one. We are like and they expanded because of people like me. I'm like searching out for those groups. I'm in those groups. I'm assisting those groups. That's a thing, and they're only going to get more of those groups. Like we're not. There's not going to be less of those groups. There's going to be more as time goes on. The second thing I will say is stop. That's a separate issue. Someone trying to stop a group like that's a separate issue than me trying to say that this white person trying to change this white person's mind. That a legal battle or whatever that I guarantee you that whatever the situation that you just brought up, there's probably some legal thing that's going on in the background around that is not directly related to, oh, we don't like black people, or oh, we don't like women. There's probably something around. I don't know, but that's my intuition is telling me that. The last thing I will say is that at the same time, I'm not saying that what I'm saying is we need more of those groups. We need to focus on building those groups. Yeah, there's going to be small people. You cannot tell me, and you keep saying this thing about like they told us that this thing no longer existed. We don't have to worry about racism no more. I haven't gotten that message from anyone. The message I've gotten is that, okay, we have made progress. Martin Luther King did a thing. Malcolm X did a thing. All these people did a thing. The civil rights era was a thing. We have laws. We have amendments. We have all these rights. We have laws that protect minorities in certain situations. None of that is perfect, and it's never going to be perfect. But there is progress. There's progress being made. And I'm not going to sit here and deny the progress that's been made. Me saying that is not saying what you're doing is like wrong or not useful. What I'm trying to say is that there has been progress, and to say that and to pretend like there hasn't been progress is just it like I dated a white woman in college. That couldn't have happened like 50 years ago. There is some kind of progress in our society. Humans are never gonna be perfect, but what we can do, we can continue moving the ball. And when I say moving the ball with these black organizations. I'm a part of Google, I think Google Tech Mecca. Those kind of organizations, if we do more of that, then we can help the black community. That's the side I'm on. I'm not saying that everyone at Robin DiAngelo shouldn't be doing a thing. I'm just saying that's just not my thing. I want to move the ball forward. I don't want to go and preach to people, don't be racist. That's not my thing. Because that doesn't wake me up. I don't get off on that. That doesn't excite me. That depresses me. I'm not trying to change people. Like, if you want to be racist, then I don't, there's nothing I can do with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I
That's what
hear
I'm trying
you.
to say.
I
You,
hear
you,
you,
s-
brother.
you see what I'm
Listen,
saying?
I think that's perfectly fine. That's your choice, okay? Like, no one is requiring you to make a different choice. No
Oh,
one wants you to make a different choice. The issue is, like, I feel like you're not.
I feel like we should be playing more. What I'm trying to say is I feel like we should be playing more offense than defense.
But, brother, the story that I was telling you was a story
Mhm.
about people trying to play offense and being stopped. And it was about them being black and women because they're not trying to stop any other group from doing the same thing. They targeted a black female $10,000 entrepreneurship scholarship to a couple dozen women. Why would they do that if it
Can
wasn't?
you send me the link to that?
Of course, I'll send you that. Of course, I'll send you
Okay.
that along with the other.
I'm not saying that you're lying. I
Listen, that's
totally
I'm
believe
not.
you.
I have no problem sending you the information. Okay,
I believe you.
this
I
is a
believe you.
prominent story that has been talked
Yeah.
about extensively on social media and whatnot. But like, yeah, you can find out, and it's the same guy who was responsible for the end of affirmative action. So I think that's
Okay.
also relevant. Thanks for watching. For access to the full length conversation and all of the 2 hour long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support and see you next time.